The pro rata rule is one of those tax rules that gets talked about like it's some massive trap hidden inside retirement planning. But in reality, the rule itself is actually pretty straightforward. Most of the confusion comes from not understanding how different types of retirement dollars are being tracked. One thing before we jump in, I'm Blake Wiswell, and what you're seeing is an AI avatar of me. Beyond the Ticker runs on real expertise, delivered in a modern way. Now let's get into it. In the last video, we talked about Roth conversions, the process of moving money from a pre-tax retirement structure into a Roth structure, and recognizing taxes along the way. The pro rata rule only becomes relevant when an IRA contains a mix of both pre-tax and after-tax dollars. And that distinction matters. Because if all the money inside a traditional IRA is pre-tax, then a Roth conversion is actually very straightforward. The conversion is simply taxable as ordinary income, exactly what you would expect. That's not a pro rata issue. The pro rata rule only shows up when different tax types are blended together inside pre-tax accounts. And this is where terminology starts confusing people. When the IRS applies the pro rata rule, it does not look at one IRA account in isolation. It looks at all traditional SEP and simple IRAs together as one combined IRA pool for tax purposes. We haven't spoken about SEPs and simples, but we'll get there in a future video. So if someone has pre-tax dollars in one IRA and after-tax dollars in another IRA, the IRS still treats those dollars as part of the same overall calculation. And this is proportional. I want to point out where the contention is found on how this rule can come across as a huge hidden problem. Let's use an example. If someone has $80,000 of pre-tax IRA money and $20,000 of after-tax IRA money, then their IRA pool is split 80-20 in favor of the pre-tax bucket. At first thought, you might think you can convert the after-tax amount directly to a Roth with no tax consequences, but you'd be mistaken. The correct outcome of the $20,000 conversion would be $16,000 as the taxable portion and $4,000 as the non-taxable portion. The same 80-20 split as the IRA pool. The important part is that the IRS does not allow someone to simply choose only the after-tax dollars for conversion. It has to reflect the overall makeup of the IRA pool. Again, this is where the rule often gets portrayed as scary or problematic, but the rule itself is not a penalty, it's simply a formula. The real issue is usually that someone expected the conversion to be treated differently than it actually was. And that most commonly happens in conversations around backdoor Roth strategies. The backdoor Roth usually involves making an after-tax contribution to a traditional IRA and then converting it into a Roth IRA. The goal is to create little or no additional taxable income during the conversion. But if pre-tax IRA dollars already exist somewhere else, the pro rata rule changes the calculation. Now, an important clarification here. 401ks are generally not included in the pro rata calculation. So if someone has pre-tax dollars inside a 401k, but no pre-tax to IRA dollars, that is treated differently than having those same dollars inside an IRA structure. Again, this comes back to how different account structures are treated under the tax code. And that's really the bigger takeaway from this entire conversation. Pro rata rule is not really about punishment or hidden fees. It's about awareness of your financial scenario. It's about the IRS making sure conversions reflect the actual tax makeup of IRA money. Once you understand that, the rule becomes much less intimidating because ultimately the tax outcome is being driven by the structure of the accounts themselves, not by the conversion alone. Remember, knowledge is the one investment that never loses value, and that is exactly what Beyond the Ticker is built on. If you got something out of this, like the video, subscribe, and pass it along to someone who would appreciate it. Every share helps us reach more people, and we are grateful for every single one. See you next time.